Did you know Israel is beatable? And no, these are not my words. These are the words of Shaun King in his greatest, revolting, shocking, horrible, confusing, and weird tweet. Let's read it out on today's episode of Did They Really Say That? Because my friends Shaun King did. Let's go. Israel is beatable. They are horrible on the ground. Starving men in sandals humiliated them on the ground 700 days into a genocide. Any strong army could defeat Israel's military face to face. This is why Israel has to rely on drones and bombs. Up close, they are cowards, my friends. First of all, welcome back to this episode. I'm Ira K. If you don't know what we do on here, we are fighting back against radical Islam, media lies, and people who are completely and totally insane. Like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, share this with somebody out there who should be hearing the truth, and let's dive right into it. So, for those unfamiliar, who is Shaun King? I'll admit, I didn't really know who he was until October 7th, when obviously he starts posting to his millions, and I mean millions and millions, 6 million followers to be exact. The irony of that number does not escape me. 6 million followers on Instagram, he gets deactivated, and he constantly is spewing hate. But who is this guy? Let's just read quickly from ChatGPT, my new best friend. Shaun King is an American activist and social media personality who first rose to fame through Black Lives Matter. But listen to this. He built a massive following, but has been repeatedly accused of lying, misusing donations, spreading anti-Semitic rhetoric, yes, and even making up stories about freeing Israeli hostages, yada, yada, yada. The guy lies for a living. But listen to the scandal, the big scandal. He also faced a major scandal when people accused him of pretending to be black. Okay, this guy rose to fame as like a prominent Black Lives Matter person and pretended to be black. They nicknamed him Talcum X. I love that. Although he denies it, yada, 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 and it's all alleged at this point. Okay. He became so controversial that Instagram banned his account with nearly 6 million followers in 2023. Thank you to all the Jews out there who did their work to make sure this man shouldn't get his platform. Today, it's reinstated, yada yada. He sees himself as like a civil rights leader, but most people know that he is a grifter who thrives on controversy. And what does that mean? Well, it means that he will do absolutely anything. Anything to gain attention. And today, he's coming after the Israeli military because not only is he somebody who knows how to pretend to be black, he is also apparently now a military expert. And he understands that Israel's army is just terrible, which is why in a matter of months we defeated Hezbollah and Iran's nuclear abilities. And we are on the way to defeating the Houthis. Yes, I don't know if you heard the news last night. We took out apparently, allegedly, the prime minister of the Houthis. I don't even know they had a prime minister, but their whole thing in themselves. We have kept escalations with Egypt at bay. We are on our way to dominate and destroy and end Hamas in Gaza. We are moving forward day by day by day. We have an unbelievable military, but according to Shaun King, who's such a legitimate source of military news, Israel is beatable. And I wonder to myself, once again, how he knows this to be true. What evidence does he have? You see, when I look at the map of Israel, here's what I see. I see a tiny little location surrounded by a bajillion enemies. There are 50 massive, enormous Arab states. Have you guys ever seen the size of Iran? Just by the way, have you ever seen how enormous it is in comparison to Israel? And I see a country that since its inception as a state, obviously not as an entity because we know that Israel has existed for thousands of years, just read the Bible. Anyway, ever since the beginning of our state, we have been under attack. And even before that, we had the Turkish and the Ottoman Empire. We had so many things going on, so many people hating us. We had the British who hated us, and that's ended up well for them at this point. But we have been under attack so many times by Egypt, by Syria, by Lebanon, by Jordan. We have just been bombarded. And yet, we seem to win every single time. But Shaun King obviously won't remember that, and he'll never talk about that, and he'll forget to mention that as a fact, because his belief is that we are beatable, that we are so easily defeated, that any big military against us would fail. And he forgets, once again, the story of David versus Goliath, that sometimes it's not just about numbers, it's actually about brains, but more importantly than strategy is about being on the right side of humanity because we have God on our side. And that is what allows us to have miracles every single day. And that is why people like Shaun King, who get online and who just constantly tweet for attention, to say things as controversial as possible so that people can look at them and be like, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. We, as Israel, know the truth. And in fact, the more a person like this makes a statement like this, the more it gives me energy to keep on going. Why? Well, because he lies for a living. And so when he says these things, Israel is beatable, what we have to read from that is Israel is unbeatable. And this, my friends, is the truth. As long as we keep going the way we are going and we have God on our side, which we do. And he has proved that to us many, many times. I don't know if you all heard, we have 2 hostages that were released over the weekend. They weren't released, actually. They were rescued. Big mistake. We rescued them. Our IDF continues to be unbelievably strong. Hamas are quaking and shaking in their sleep. They are petrified. I don't even know if they're sleeping at this point because they know that we are coming after them in Gaza City, and things are looking up. They're looking good. They're looking bright because we are going to win. You see, people seem to forget constantly that war is actually about winning. You know, people don't like it. We've become so accustomed as a Western society that everything needs to be peaceful and through dialogue and compromise. And if we just have diplomacy, if everyone just talks nicely to one another, things will work out. But when you're dealing with radical Islamic, jihadi, crazy psycho people, they don't believe that. They don't think that things should end in nice compromise. They believe that things should end in winning. And luckily for the Jewish people and for Israel, the Israelis understand that now. We understood it after October 7th, and therefore we are going to win this war. The hostages, hopefully, will all come home, and we will beat Hamas, defeat them, and destroy them, and annihilate them. And that is the truth. And I think Shaun King's a little afraid of that. I think it makes him a little uncomfortable to think about the fact that Israel is, in fact, unbeatable. Yes, you may have managed to reinstate your 6 million followers on Instagram, spewing lies and hatred everywhere you go, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we will beat you. We will beat your teams. We will beat you in the media. We will beat you on the ground. We will beat the war. We will win this thing. Why? Because we have no other chance, because no one is going to take our homeland from us. And with that, Mr. Shaun King, you wonderful, wonderful human being who clearly really understands moral clarity and has your world set out for you in a way that just makes sense. Thank you for reminding me on this wonderful morning that Israel is in fact unbeatable.